Most of the times, I try to follow a pattern, and sometimes I succeed, while the other times I end up in a spiral of mess. This is one such mess. बड़ी प्लानिंग के साथ मैंने सोचा था कि जब ये सीरीज शुरू करूंगा तो एक एक करके मैन्युफैक्चर से खत्म करता रहूंगा, बट इस ओवर एक्साइटमेंट के चक्कर में मैंने एक ऐसी गाड़ी मिस कर दी जो ट्रू एसेंस में हर एक इंसान को इंडियन मार्केट में पता है. This is the car that gave us the taste of how it felt like being a king on the road for the first time. Before your Scorpios, before your Fortuners, before your XUVs, this was the OG Desi SUV. मैं हूं संग्राम and this is the legend of Tata Safari. The year was 1998. India had just discovered cable television and Shah Rukh Khan was teaching us about romance. And इस सब के बीच में Tata decided to fulfill all of our wild fantasies. अभी तक Tata ने जो गाड़ियां बनाई थी, they were inspired by the Western market. The designs were carried over from them in some way. But this time, Tata gave us something that was just for us, that was made for us, that was built for us. They came up with an SUV that was designed to survive the wild. Not just the wildlife, but also the wild Indian traffic. It was big, it was boxy, it had road presence, and it had more body roll than a toddler in a bouncy castle. But it had 4x4, it had a ladder frame chassis, it had amazingly comfortable seats, and it had a driving position that was so high up that you could literally look down upon hatchbacks. The first generation of the Safari came with a 2-liter diesel engine that produced a measly 90 PS of power. Not too great by today's standards, and even by that standards, the Safari quickly became the official car of the Indian Explorer. The Explorer जो wildlife से ज़्यादा Indian traffic को explore कर रहे थे. Some things about the Indian market. Although the Safari was made like it could go to Ladakh, the only place that it was going to was Rajpath Nagar. It was amazingly popular within the businessmen and the government officials because of its big boxy road presence. और इसी popularity को देखते हुए Tata saw that it was time for an upgrade. So in 2005, Tata gave us the Safari Dicor. The Dicor came with new looks. Not a big departure, but there was some bits here and there just to make it look more modern. But the big change was the change in the engine. It now came with a 3-liter diesel engine, upping the power from 90 to 116 PS and 300 Newton meters of torque. By now, the Safari had tasted blood. It had more power, but it wanted more. So Tata came up with a new 2.2-liter VTT engine. The VTT stood for Variable Turbine Technology, or as the Safari owners used to call it, Very Temperamental Turbo. The VTT engine gave the Safari 140 PS of power and 320 Newton meters of torque. The Safari now was no slouch. It had the print, it had the power. All the power delivery कैसा ये कब आएगी, it really depended on the temperament of the engine. But still, it was now on its way to become a proper off-roader, a proper explorer. See, for me, बड़ा simple है. हमेशा the first generation Safari with its sleek, long headlamps will always be the best looking version. But I mean, the second one was no slouch either. It was a good looking car. It had character. It commanded road presence until it broke down. The people still loved it. It was our very own SUVs. SUVs? It was our very own SUV. अगर इसके अंदर reliability नहीं थी तो क्या हुआ? The patriotism was oozing through its veins. All throughout the 2000s, the Safari solidified its mark in the Indian market. For anyone who wanted a nice big brawny SUV which was not as expensive as the foreign options, the Safari was your go-to choice. And as the 2010s were approaching, the emission norms were becoming stricter. New models were coming in. नई गाड़ी आ रही थी. The Safari did what they had to do. In 2012, Safari gave us the all-new Safari Storm. Personally, out of the lot of the OG Safaris, the worst looking for me. But still, the Storm was supposed to be modern. It had cleaner lines, it was more sophisticated, the tech became better, and the Safari became more reliable. All in all, it became a more sophisticated machinery, also gave better build to the car, and यही time था when Safari also received an order for the Indian Army to supply them with the Safari Storm, which replaced or was supposed to replace the almighty Maruti Gypsy. But as all good things must come to an end, the journey of Safari wasn't meant to continue any longer. November 2019 marked the end of an era with the true essence of Safari leaving all of us. The production ended in 2019 and it was officially discontinued in 2020 because the Safari was no longer compliant with Bharat Stage 6 regulations. We all felt the pain of the Safari leaving us and हम लोग अपने आप को सांत्वना दे ही रहे थे. हम इस बात को अपने ज़हन में बिठाए रहे थे कि 2021 में Tata gave us the news that they were bringing back the Safari, and for a small bit we were all excited until we came to know that it was no longer a body on frame SUV, it was a front wheel drive crossover. This car now does not even have 4x4, which is ironic because it is called the Safari. अब मुझे ज़्यादा नहीं पता, but I'm assuming कि अगर मैं कभी Safari पर जाऊँगा तो I would need a car that is 4x4 ideally. But credit where credit is due, the new Safari looked great. It has a great platform, rides well, has a load of features. और अभी गाड़ी ऑफ रोड नहीं जा सकती तो क्या हुआ? ऑनलाइन तो जा सकती है. From 1998's King of the Road to 2025's feature-packed family hauler, the Safari has come a long way. Maybe too long. The OG Safari was that rugged uncle who wore aviators, had a mustache and fixed his car by himself. The new one, well, he wears an Apple Watch, talks to Alexa and has ambient lighting. The new Safari has only been included in this episode because it carries forward the name, but again, the essence left us long back. The original Safari for us, aaj din tak, even though we don't see the Safari so much on the streets, but that amazing iconic shape is still embedded in my head. I know all the creases, I know every single line. I remember that big tire hanging at the back. The Safari is not just a car or an SUV, it's an emotion, it's a statement, and sometimes it's just a breakdown which is waiting to happen. Well, I'm happy that the name Safari has been carried forward. Somewhere it aches. Just know that it came in as an afterthought. The new Safari is nothing but just a pulled out Harrier. I think the name Safari deserves a lot more respect than it has been given today. मतलब उस टाटा की लाइनअप में ये गाड़ी आज के पे कंसिडरेशन में भी नहीं आ रही है. Any outgoing person would rather choose the Harrier than the Safari because only I think bigger families go towards the Safari. It is a very straightforward choice. But still, times are changing, technology is evolving, we are moving towards EV, we are moving towards different this thing. All that we ask for, all that we need, or all that we wish is maybe Tata once more will give us the Safari that we all deserve.